And so everything you're going to hear tonight is going to be related to that, Akana, in the hands of God. We launched our company on 4/20 of 2019. We started out with a line of CBD products. And then we went into essential oils and our wellness line in 2020. And then in 2021, what you're going to hear about tonight is the flat belly lifestyle. We introduced that in 2021. It revolutionized the things that we were doing. We actually have more than 30,000 customers, and our company is proud that we reinvest 1% of our gross profits to empower underserved communities. We've got a full medical advisory board made of doctors and RNs and LVNs and child psychologists and chiropractors and naturopaths and herbalists. Let me tell you something. They don't just endorse our products, but they use our products for themselves, for their families, and for their patients. And one of the reasons that's important is because they have already given us statistics that are just atrocious. I don't even want to talk about this. 2020, nearly 700,000 people died from heart disease in the United States. And here's the bad thing about it. 25% of them, the first time they found out was at death. But here's what's even worse. 90% of that heart disease was preventable. Now you're going to hear me use the term tonight called reversible. Because whatever condition that you are dealing with, whatever situation that has been taking place in your life that causes you some concern about your health, you're going to learn tonight that it's reversible. Now, you won't hear us use the word cure or things like that, but you will hear us say that it's reversible. Now, we know that the leading cause of death, we've heard this for many, many years, is heart disease. It's a silent killer. And the second is cancer. And the third, since recent, is COVID, right? But before that, even in 2016, here's an article that came out by the National Library of Medicine that said that medical error in hospitals and other facilities could be the third leading cause of death in the United States. Medical error. Oh my God. Now, I told you I have 2 doctorates. One's in theology and one's in divinity. And I told you I'm also a certified wellness coach. But I always like for people to hear from the mouth of wellness experts. So check out this video and hear what these doctors have to say.
2/3 of adults are now overweight or obese, and we have an epidemic cascade of debilitating disease that's overcoming the country. There's no way we can sustain the current style of care with the epidemic that we're creating with our diet and lifestyle choices.
The diabetes, the arthritis, the heart disease, the dementia, the obesity, the cancers are affecting about 70% of deaths. All the data is that those 70% of deaths and morbidity are largely lifestyle related and preventable.
Most kids by age 10 in the U.S. already have fatty streaks in their arteries, the first stage of atherosclerosis leading to heart attacks, strokes.
Here in American medicine, we operate from the disease model. We are in the business of treating sick people. We are not in the business of trying to prevent people from becoming sick.
When you look at chronic disease risk, all the things that we walk around worrying about, actually dietary choices trump smoking when it comes to those risks.
If I could deliver one message to the researchers who are looking for the cause of diabetes and the cause of clogged arteries and the cause of high blood pressure and the cause of obesity, I would tell them the answer's in 3 words. It's the food. It's what Americans are eating.
It's what Americans are eating. He said it's the food. Oh my God. Listen, I've done scans on young people, teenagers that look worse than, I'm a baby boomer. They look worse than baby boomers because of the food, because of their dietary choices. And then you heard the other doctor. He said, we're not even in the business of preventing sickness. We're in the business of treating sickness. See, we've got a problem in the U.S., and our CEO coined the phrase suicide. We're literally digging our graves with our fork. We're committing suicide at the table because of too much animal protein and processed food, salt and sugar, and sedentary lives where we're sitting all of the time, not going outside, not getting any vitamin D. When I was a kid, you couldn't wait to get home from school, and I had to do my homework and practice my piano, but then you couldn't wait to get outside. But now we're eating too much animal protein, which is impairing our kidneys and our organs and our cells. And that's what's contributing to faster aging and cancer and heart disease and obesity. You know, Dr. Oz, yeah, he said our genetics load the gun, but our lifestyle pulls the trigger. What is that saying? Oftentimes we say we have something because our grandparents had it, or our mother had it, or somebody else in our genealogical had it. Well, guess what? Here's what's genetic. We eat like they ate, so we have what they have. So the BioScan, which I'm so glad that you took the time to do, I'm glad you stopped by our table or wherever that was, or you met with that person, because this BioScan process shows you 45 areas of your body. Now, the first column, and if you look at your report, whether you're looking at it on your phone, or maybe you printed it out, or maybe you're looking on another device, the first area of that process are the areas that were tested. The second column is the normal range. That's where we'd like for everybody to be. The third column are your actual measurements. That's right. It's not generic. These are your actual measurements based on the information you gave us. But then the fourth column is where we're going to really focus our attention tonight, the color code. Green, blue, yellow, and red. Now, the green means normal. The blue means mildly abnormal. Yellow, moderately abnormal. And red, severely abnormal. Now, abnormality or something, or it means out of balance, doesn't mean disease. It just means you're going in the wrong direction. And the beautiful thing about this BioScan is that it lets you know when you're out of the direction and you're going in the wrong direction way before it becomes critical. See, I want to know I'm going in the wrong direction, not when you tell me I'm in crisis or you tell me I have something, but let me know way before time so that guess what? I can turn it around because I said it's reversible. Now you notice there's some blue, yellow, and red on the left, and there's blue, yellow, and red on the right. Left means decrease, right means increase. Left means it's whatever that item is, it's not working as efficiently as it should. And if it's on the right, it's overworking. It's just kind of the wonderful way God made our bodies to keep us alive. If something is not working as efficient as it should, something else overworks just to keep us here. But we need to know the cause. What's causing that increase or that decrease? What's causing the lack of efficiency or the overworking of that particular item? What is the source? See, we often go to the doctor and we find out we've got something. But how did I get it? Don't tell me I've got stage 4 cancer and you didn't tell me I had stage 1. One of the things that really causes disease is the lack of oxygen. The diseased cells. Now, the BioScan does what? It detects what's taking place on the cellular level. And when your cells start lacking oxygen, there's disease. Cancer is a perfect example of that. The inability of the cell to use oxygen. The second thing is mucus and parasites. You're going to see through the BioScan, through your report, where is that mucus and those parasites building up, causing blockages, not letting the nutrients in the blood and the oxygen to flow through because it's being obstructed by mucus and parasites. You're going to even see, we're going to talk about what's causing that mucus and those parasites to build up over time. And remember, the BioScan that you did is not about what you did last week, last night, or last month. It's about what's been taking place since you were a teenager up until now. What about toxins? Oh my goodness, all the processed food that we're eating, all the packaged foods that we're eating, even guess what? The air we breathe, toxicity. And there's a process that's been taking place within our body over time that's causing our body to be toxic. And oh my God, deficiency. So many diseases are because of a lack of certain vitamins in our body that have transpired in our body over time, causing certain problems, causing certain diseases. And then ultimately, we end up with an acidic body. How do you get an acidic body? We're going to talk about that tonight. So now let's get into your report. Hopefully you have it by now and you're looking at it on your phone, on your device, or maybe you printed out the paperwork. The first report that we're going to look at is your heart and your brain. Your heart and your brain, cardiovascular and cerebral vascular. Now it's got a lot of things on that particular sheet, and we're going to pair some of these things together because they just kind of work together. You'll see one off and you'll see the other off. And we're going to start with the top first one and the third one, blood viscosity and blood fat. Now, blood viscosity means thickness of the blood. And if you're looking at your report, is it in the green? If it is, great. But if it's in the blue, the yellow, or the red to the right, your blood is thicker than it should be. It's kind of like the oil in your car. Why do you have to change the oil? Because it gets dirty and it gets too thick. And when it gets too thick, then it can't flow through the engine like it should. And then all of a sudden now you start having engine troubles and it's sludge, right? Thick as the oil in your car. Well, the same thing happens in our body because of fatty tissues. That's why we paired up blood viscosity and blood fat. Fatty tissues, where do they come from? They come from our food. They come from the mucus that's building up in our body. They come from our diet. Didn't the doctor say it's the food that Americans are eating? So if you're looking at your report and you're in the blue, the yellow, or the red, we need to, and it's not necessarily that you need blood thinner, because you're probably, if you're in the red, you're probably already on warfarin or some blood thinner. But what about cleaning that up? What about detoxifying the body, getting it to thin by getting the sludge out, right? That's what we got to do. And you're going to hear me talk about detoxing and cleaning and flushing over and over again, because I need to drive home a point to you that every single person that's here, that's watching this, that's listening to this, you need to detox. It should be a part of our lifestyle, okay? We need to clean this out, because if we didn't change the oil to thin it out, it would cause you problems in your car. Same thing is happening to our bodies, and we're not knowing why it's happening. So now let's look at the cholesterol. Is your cholesterol higher than it should be? Is it in the blue, the yellow, or the red? If it's in the yellow or the red, you may already be on cholesterol medication. And somebody's told you that that's the only way that you can keep your cholesterol at bay. Well, what's causing that cholesterol? It's the food. It's the cholesterol-rich foods that we so love. Yes, I know. Don't shoot the messenger. But I'm just showing you a few pictures, and I know we love them. But do we love them enough to allow them to continue to do the damage to our bodies, because we can't do without them? Let's change this. So we got to get that cholesterol in check. And I'm going to consistently say, without the use of medication, or at least we want to decrease that medication. And then the next one on that report is called vascular resistance. Vascular meaning heart. That means there's a resistance. And if it's to the right, that means it's overworking. It's not getting the response that we would like for it to. And every one of us has these blood vessels, these arteries, and when plaque from our diet starts building up, remember I said over time, you don't want it to get like the fourth circle where it's a blocked artery. That's a heart attack or a stroke. But many times I ask people, I said, do you think the same amount of blood that goes through the first circle is the same amount of blood that goes through the third circle? And sometimes people will say, no, of course not. But yes, it's the same amount of blood, because you need the same amount of blood to keep you alive. But that third circle, with that plaque built up around the wall, now that blood has to push harder to get through. And the harder it pushes, the more it raises the blood pressure. And so now we're talking about blood pressure, right? That's what you're looking at. When you see that to the right, blood pressure, you may already be on blood pressure medication. But I'm going to tell you something. You're going to hear tonight, and you're going to see people who have detoxed their body through our program, and their blood pressure has become regulated. Some of them have gotten off of blood pressure medicine. So we want to remove the plaque. Doesn't that make sense? Doesn't that seem like that should be the solution? Remove the plaque. Then if I remove the plaque, I'm back to a healthy blood vessel. The next thing we're going to look at on our report, I want you to look at three different things. Look at the vascular elasticity, coronary elasticity, and cerebral elasticity. What's the common word? Elasticity, right? See, the blood vessel is supposed to be elastic like a rubber band. That's what you see in the first diagram there. Very elastic, letting the blood and the oxygen and the nutrients flow through. But over time, because of our diet, because of the processed foods, because of the fried food, because of the animal protein, oh my God, the plaque begins to build up. And when it builds up, now that once elastic blood vessel begins to harden. How many have ever heard the term hardening of the arteries? Here it is. Has anybody ever told you how that happened, or did they just tell you you had it? You had a heart attack or a stroke, and now that result, they had to put a stent. That's that bottom picture that you're looking at right there. Yeah, it broke, got too hard that it breaks. Now, if we remove the plaque, dissolve the plaque, that's what a detox does, dissolves that plaque, you're back to a healthy blood vessel. So now we did say there are 3 different ones, right? What's the difference? Location. Vascular is around the heart. Coronary is on the heart. Still the same hardening of the arteries taking place, but now that's on the heart. And then the last one is cerebral blood vessel elasticity, which is on the brain. So that same plaque is building up now to the brain, because when plaque builds up, it travels. When plaque enters our body over time, it travels to all 3 of those different areas. So it'll either be around the heart, or on the brain. And ultimately, when it breaks, if it breaks and you live through it, they put a stent in. And if you don't live through it, of course, it's because of a heart attack or a stroke. The next thing we're looking at on this report is myocardial blood demand. Now, every time you hear the word myocardial, we're talking about the condition of your heart. And as you notice, if it's not in the green, it's over in the blue, yellow, or the red to the right, meaning it's overworking. What is it overworking? Every 60 seconds, the heart demands a certain amount of blood to get to the heart. Now, when you look at the other areas that we already touched on, the hardening of the arteries, the plaque building up, the vascular resistance, the plaque around the walls of the arteries, the fatty tissues. Well, if all that's happening, it's right in line with this myocardial blood demand, because now it's having to work harder every 60 seconds just to get that blood. And it's in conjunction, in relationship to the other things we've already looked at. And that's why you climb stairs and can't get through the stairs. You just got to stop. You got to take a break. If you want to know how healthy your heart is, climb some stairs. That you'll find out where you are. Have you ever just been walking and you had to stop and catch yourself? Don't you think that was a sign? But we ignore so many signs because, oh, the doctor said I'm okay. Oh, it didn't show up in my blood work. Listen, this is about what's going on in the cells of your body. The next thing we're going to look at is myocardial blood perfusion volume. That's volume coming through. That's the blood flow. The healthy coronary artery has perfect blood flow, bringing in the oxygen and the nutrients. But when that plaque starts building up against those walls, now that blood flow is compromised. All right, it's compromised. And then the artery has to work harder and harder. Now we're looking at the right-hand side, that myocardial oxygen consumption. Yeah. Every time that heart beats, a certain amount of blood is supposed to come through. But if it's been on the left-hand side, it's working efficiently. Now on the right, this consumption, it has to pump harder just to get that blood flowing through every time the heart contracts, just to keep us here. Stroke volume. Now, don't panic. You're looking at your report. Is it on the left in the red, blue, the yellow, or the red? Does not mean you're about to have a stroke. Every time the heart contracts, that's called a stroke. 1 stroke, 2 stroke, 3 strokes, right? But it does mean you're not stroking as efficiently as you should. And I like to line this one up because, you know, here's the solution. It's an easy fix. Yeah, come on. I need you to give me more exercise. I need you to do more cardiovascular exercise. Yes, let that heart work. Don't let, oh, I'm sweating a little bit. Now it's time to stop. No, that's when you need to do 15 more minutes. Even if you got to sit in the chair and exercise, doesn't matter what you got to do, bad back, bad knees, whatever, find a way, YouTube videos, give me some exercise, because it's not just about you looking good to lose weight, to get exercise. No, it's about you feeling good. It's a requirement for our health. And then left ventricular ejection impedance. Now, many of you have already experienced, if you're looking at your report, and this is over in the yellow or the red on the right-hand side, because see, the left ventricle's position and job is to get blood to the rest of the body. And I usually can talk with a person, if theirs is in the red or the yellow, they're already dealing with varicose veins or something. They're not getting enough oxygen down to their legs, certain areas of their body, because why? There's a blockage. Yeah, left ventricular impedance. Impedance means blockage. So that means that blood is not flowing properly to those other areas of the body. And then the coronary perfusion pressure. Oh my goodness. Yes, the heart. The heart. Every time you hear coronary, that's directly on the heart. And again, this is in line, all of these other areas of the heart, and everything lines up. When one is off, you'll see the other off. You'll see the other compensate for the other. And this is on the right-hand side, meaning it's working harder than it should because we've got plaque buildup. We've got toxins building up in the arteries. And lastly, brain tissue blood supply status. This one's pretty self-explanatory because the brain, yeah, the tissue needs blood supply to flow through it because when it's not, it clots up. See, when this plaque builds up in our body, have you ever talked to somebody and the next day they found that you found out they had an aneurysm? When I heard LeBron James' son had a cardiac arrest, basketball player at the prime of his life, you know, when Jamie Foxx had some issues going on, just recently, one of the dancers on Dancing with the Stars had to go have a brain surgery. I'm telling you, these are things that are not being diagnosed from the physical person. They look perfectly well, but not knowing what's going on the cellular level of their body. And that's what leads to strokes and heart attacks and aneurysms. All right, so much for that. Now, I hope by now you're already recognizing that you need to detox. We all need to detox. And we're getting ready to have a company-wide detox. So listen, I'm telling you, get ready for this. Now, let's talk about the gut health. Why should we talk about the gut? Gut health is just crucially important because 70% of the immune system is in the gut. And if we had better gut health, we wouldn't have had a pandemic. We would have been able to handle any kind of virus that came our way because your immune system would not be compromised. So let's look at your report, gastrointestinal. Now you'll notice some of these things are on the left-hand side. If they're not in the green, they're on the left-hand side. Pepsin secretion coefficient. What is pepsin? Pepsin is an enzyme. I call it your chewer. Yeah, it's an enzyme that's made in your stomach that breaks down your protein. Whenever you eat animal protein, and that's what we're really talking about, it's the animal protein that we eat. Anything that's got eyes comes out. Oh, I don't do beef. No, I said animal. Anything that has eyes. Well, your body, when you digest it, has to break it down. And pepsin is that chewer. And when it does not break it down, it puts stress on other areas of your body, like your kidneys. Now, why does it stop? Because it gets tired. We're talking about since you were a teenager up until now. This pepsin is tired because it's been breaking down, and all of a sudden you keep putting more protein and more animal protein and more animal protein, not realizing how difficult our body has a time in breaking down the protein. Okay, let me explain it. Our normal body temperature is what? 98.5, 98.6, right? Any animal, anything that's got eyes, that has a temperature higher than ours, causes our body to work harder to break down that protein and the oils of that animal. The animal has protein, right? We say, I got to have my beef, I got to have my chicken, I got to have my turkey, because I need some protein in my body. Well, guess what? Your body says, oh my God, this is higher than yours, so I've got to work hard to break it down. Well, okay, so you don't believe me yet. The cow, look at the body temperature, the normal body temperature of the cow. Did I say any animal temperature higher than ours makes our body work harder? You wonder why we get tired? Because our body's working. Look at the pig. Look at the turkey. Now we understand why everybody crashes after Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas dinner, with all that turkey, pig, and what happens if we eat more than one of these in one sitting? And then look at the chicken. Y'all don't shoot the messenger. I'm sorry. Look at the body temperature of the chicken. It's causing our body to work harder just to digest the chicken, and we're doing it over time. But look at the fish. See, this is why more people are starting to become pescatarians. And they'll say, I'll do the fish and I'll do the salmon, and I'm gonna stay with the seafood. Because its body temperature, normal body temperature, is lower than ours. So that means your body can digest it better. Now, does that make sense? So that's why Pepsin is saying, I'm tired of working. Number one, you don't chew your food enough, and now you're making me work overboard because you're eating it and eating it and eating it, and you're putting 1 and 2 things down at the same time. And then many of us are not going to having our bowel movements as often as we should because of this peristalsis. Yeah, gastric peristalsis. It's a muscle. It's a muscle that moves your food to elimination. So now, if you're not chewing it, if your pepsin is not functioning good, and you look at your report and you see, where is that? Is it on the left? Yep, it's on the left, blue, yellow, or the red, meaning it's not working efficiently. So if it's not moving, if that muscle's not moving your food, you know how you squeeze a toothpaste, you know, you roll it up till you can get every little bit. But imagine if you couldn't roll it up any further. And that's the way this muscle functions when it stops functioning. And now we're backed up. Now we're got waste just sitting in the walls of our gut, of our gastrointestinal area. And we're not absorbing our food. Absorption, where does that come from? Mucus. Mucus over time comes from our meat and dairy and our cooked food. Oh my God. You mean I get mucus buildup? You're wondering why you got the allergies, why you can't, you got sneezing, you got runny nose, you got all kind of stuff going on. Mucus building up, coughing up stuff. Look at the items that cause mucus: bread, processed food, sugar, milk, the ice cream, the cheese. Oh my God, don't shoot the messenger. It hinders nutrients to get through your bloodstream, and that's what's causing the allergies, the colds, and the deficiencies. And see, I'm in Texas, guys. This is a normal barbecue dinner plate in Texas. Do you see anything on there that looks like it's gonna cause mucus? Yep, every bit of this, every bit of this. So here's my free tip tonight. If you don't get nothing from this presentation tonight, I want you to get this. Add some raw to your diet. Decrease the 4 meats, okay? All 4 of those meats have higher body temperature than ours, plus the coleslaw, more mucus. Oh my God, the potato salad. But look, come on, let's get 1 of those and then add some raw to your plate. Start there. This gastrointestinal, we've got to clean up our gut. Now let's talk about the small intestines, because that's on the same report. Looking at your small intestines, is it to the left? Is it in the blue, the yellow, or the red? In this report, it happened to be in the green. So you see, you can have the stomach area be off, and then the small intestines was decent, was normal. But on your report, where is it? Because the job of the small intestines is to absorb most of the nutrients in our food. And then your circulatory system passes them on to other parts of your body to store or to use. And we wonder why this is just sitting there, this body fat, these love handles, because it's either being used or it's being stored. Now let's go to your next report. The next report, that if you had all 6 reports, is your large intestines. The large intestines, your colon area. I have people tell me, well, I had a colonoscopy, but see, we just covered some other areas that might not have gotten emptied out. That's why we need to detox. So here we got the same terminology: peristalsis and absorption. And if you took your colon and you stretched it out, they say it would be the length of a quarter of a football field, but it's not like that. You see the shape of it in our bodies? So food has got to pass through. That muscle needs to still continue to work to cause us to not have constipation. But many times it's because we're clogged up we've got intestinal bacteria. And understand that there is some good bacteria. Yes, there's good bacteria and bad bacteria. But we got to weigh, do we have more good bacteria than bad, or more bad bacteria than good? Well, Dr. Roz, what's the what? Crap, that's causing bad bacteria. Anything you see on the screen is causing us to have bad bacteria. So we got to stop eating the carbonated drinks, the refined sugars, the artificial foods, the processed foods. Oh, it's so easy. They make it so convenient, and they make it so 3 for 1, all of this. But listen, let's take control of our health, and let's start putting more good bacteria into our diet. Let's just start adding more good bacteria to our diet. And then last but not least, in the large intestines, the 4th item is the interluminal pressure coefficient. Have you ever just been, after you're eating, it just kind of sits there? You've got pressure against the walls of your intestines. And the pressure that moves through the stool, through the intestines. See, it can be so excessive that it results in constipation or IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, or it can be so inadequate that it contributes to diarrhea, or you're always going to the bathroom, but you're never getting a full evacuation. It's incomplete. So that's why we need to detox. That's why it is crucial that we detox. Because we've been eating a lot before it got digested. According to the Mayo Clinic, after you eat, it takes about 6 to 8 hours for the food to pass through your stomach and your small intestines. And they say it takes 36 hours for food to make it through the entire colon. 36 hours. Who waits 36 hours before you eat? You've eaten again and again and again. And again, we saw multiple meats. So, I mean, just imagine you got a plate of food sitting there and you've been eating since you were a teenager, right? And you've been eating some strawberries and you got some rice and you got some chicken and you eat the strawberries and your digestive tract says, okay, I got this. I can digest this very quickly. It's fruit. But then you eat some rice and then your digestive tract says, hold up, strawberries, I can't work on you right now. I got to work on the rice. And then you eat some chicken and your digestive tract says, hold up, rice and strawberries, sit there until I finish working on the chicken. And then that's taking place because 8 hours later, 4 hours later, however long it takes you to eat again, the whole process starts again. So that means we're holding 10 to 12 pounds of waste in our gut that we have never eliminated. Now we understand why we feel the way we feel. Now we also hopefully understand why we need to cleanse. We need to flush it because it's causing us other problems. Let's look at the liver. Look at your liver report. Oh, let's look at the liver report. We're going to start this report from the bottom and work our way back up to the top because that liver fat content, what is yours? It's to the right. If it's not in the green, it's to the right. The average person that I scan on a daily basis is either in the yellow or the red because they've never done a cleanse. They've never done a detox. And they don't understand the function of their liver. But let me explain to you this way. When you understand that your car, you change the oil in your car every 3,000 miles or so, but they don't just change the oil, they also change the oil filter, the filter. Now, what if they didn't change the filter and they only changed the oil and the clean oil went through a dirty filter? It would still be dirty oil, right? So now we have to change the filter and the oil. So I'm saying the same thing is with this liver. The job of the liver is to filter the blood. And if it's not filtering, it's allowing dirty blood. The life of the flesh is in the blood. We got to clean up the blood. When we clean up the blood, now we got clean blood going everywhere else, all over the body. But we got to recognize the liver's function is its job is to detox. And it has a problem when it's not functioning. And you look at those other 4 areas and you're looking, are they in the left? Are they over to the left? The blue, the yellow, or the red? The protein metabolism, the energy production, the detoxification function, the bile secretion function. All of this is related to how well your body is detoxing, how well your body's filtering, because this is what leads us to liver disease. Now, if you were like me, I'm a baby boomer, and they taught me that the alcoholic was the only one that had cirrhosis of the liver. Not so. This is non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. As I showed you, if your liver, that fatty liver, that bottom one, is over to the right, and you do nothing, it progressively leads us from fatty liver to fibrosis of the liver to cirrhosis of the liver. It's progressive, guys. But we can go progressing the other direction. That's why we've got to flush that liver. We got to clean up that liver. We got to detox that liver and get it back to a healthy liver. And that is absolutely positively reversible. So we don't have to have kidney disease. There are 5 stages of kidney disease, right? So we're going to look at your kidney report, but please know that kidney disease is reversible. We live in communities that everybody is moving towards kidney disease and having their legs amputated and their feet amputated because of poor kidneys. But guess what? It's progressive. My father died on dialysis. But how did he get to that stage? Well, I'll tell you. Well, let's look at your report right now. And the one that I have in the red is that uric acid. Because the whole job of the kidney is to filter. It's a filtration system. That's the job of the kidney. And so often, what's causing uric acid to be higher than it should be? Let's look at your report. We got the UroB, we got the uric acid, we got the blood urea nitrogen index. Looking at that, all of that is related to how well your kidneys are functioning, how well they're filtering your body. And if you see them to the right, guess what? We got to flush the kidneys. We got to flush the whole body. And we're going to teach you how to flush the entire body, not just one area, but the whole body. And that uric acid in particular, that's probably, if I had been able to do a scan on my dad, I would have seen it up, just because of blood pressure medicine that he'd been taking all his adult life, but also because of indulging in animal protein. The animal protein is causing your kidneys to have to overfunction, to work harder and work harder. And remember, I said, when the pepsin is not breaking that food down, it puts a stress on your kidneys. Yeah. See, it all relates to the body. God made our body, we're a whole body. Neck bone connected to the shoulder bone. You know, remember that back as a kid. It's all interrelated together. So that's why we can cleanse the whole body and get the kind of results that we need. And then when there's so much protein, because our body naturally makes protein, but because of our indulgence or overindulgence of animal protein, it bleeds over into the urine. That's the fourth part of this report, proteinuria index. Looking at yours, where is it? In this case, it was in the yellow. It's moderately out of balance. If it's in the red, listen, it's out of balance. It's way out of balance. And so we got to flush it. Because here's the beautiful thing. Once you do, if you choose to do our program to help you flush this out, at some point, we're going to do another scan report. Because I want to see this go. If I was looking at this report and see it in the yellow, 6 months from now, a year from now, I want to do another report and I want to see this go from yellow to blue. Now, I may not jump from yellow to green because it didn't get from green to yellow overnight, but I want to see it progress in the other direction because it's reversible. Yes, I don't want to see you on a man-made filtration system. That's what dialysis is. I mean, it's intentional what's happening in our communities. You got fast food restaurants on every corner and across from each other. You can't go 5 minutes and not see multitudes of them. But then you see down the street a dialysis center. And then the last report we're going to look at tonight is your body acidic or is it alkaline? Have you ever heard those terminologies, acidic or alkaline? Do you really understand it? Because people tell me, yeah, I've heard that, but they don't really understand it. So let me try to make sure that you leave here understanding it tonight. When you go to the store and you buy a battery, this battery is an alkaline battery. And back in the day, we buy the boom box with the big old D batteries, right? But now you buy, whatever batteries you're buying for the devices that you have. And you put it in a player, let's say like the boombox, and it'll play, right? Because it's losing its alkalinity. Well, guess what? Our body does the same thing. It loses its alkalinity, and we have an acidic body because of our diet, because of toxins, and because of stress. Please let me say that stress will kill you. It's a silent killer. So if you're going through stress in your family, stress in your marriage, stress in your job, stress because of the loss of a loved one, listen, let me adjure you to find ways to de-stress. Because if your body remains acidic, then you'll also see that you're off in other areas of your body. Now, when you look at the pH, that's the bottom one of this particular report that you're looking at regarding basic. It shows you the pH. That's whether your body is alkaline or acidic. If it's in the green, it's alkaline. If it's in the red, it's acidic. There's no gray area here. As you see, there's no blue, there's no yellow. It's either red or green. If it's in the red, we got to get it to the green. And we can get it to the green by flushing, by detoxing the body. And when you do that, it also helps other areas of your body, like the response ability. Instead of you going off, you think you're just having a bad day. No, your body could be in an acidic state and it causes your response, you're reacting instead of responding. Your mental powers are not as sharp as they should be. Your water shortage, the water that's even around the cells of your body, and the hypoxia, which is the oxygen around those cells to protect you, is not operating at its optimum performance. And all we got to do is cleanse and detox our body. Get our spectrum over to the 7, 8, 9, and 10 side. Yes. And not just live over in 3, 4, 5, and 6. I mean, just look at this chart. Just look at this. Look at the pH spectrum. Where do you spend most of your time? With your diet. The doctor said it's the food. It's the food. The change we can take place for cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, all of the autoimmune diseases. We can accomplish so much and see so many changes just by changing our lifestyle. Because every individual has the potential to become a rechargeable battery by detoxing and becoming alkaline. So how do we do this? I've said a lot of stuff. I hope I've gone through your entire report for you. I hope you have a better understanding, but now let's talk about solution. Flush your body with a cleanse. Let's flush out the toxins and the mucus and the waste and the parasites and the plaque. Let's do this flushing it out, plus juicing and eating fruits and vegetables, just for a short period of time. Give us some time to rest and reset the body. Because what you saw with the bioscan is an alarm. It's an alarm. Like I live in Texas and we have hurricanes and they let us know ahead of time it's on the way. Some of you might have tornadoes. They tell you it's on the way. Now, what do? Do you do nothing? No, you do something. You go to the store, you get wood, you board up the windows, you get batteries. I mean, we do something even if it doesn't come. So I'm saying tonight, whatever you saw, blue, yellow, red, in any area of your body, if you're on medication, if you didn't even have a scan and you're taking medication, you need to cleanse and detox. So I'm going to get out the way and let Miss Anna Gallagher, who I just love, love, love. I tell you, I am so impressed with her and I so respect her. She is a mother, grandmother, entrepreneur. She's an Aconapreneur. She's a certified wellness coach and she is an Acana lifer. Listen, so Miss Anna, please come to the stage and take it away.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to talk to you about the cleanse. You can select one or the other, a 7-day refresh or a 21-day reset. Either one will include your meal plan, grocery list, and proven products to help you on the refresh, jumpstart your healthy journey, lose unwanted pounds, and refresh the mind, body, and soul in just 7 days. On the reset, it helps you repair, renew, and reset your mind, body, and soul, reduce belly fat and inflammation, and drop the waist in just 21 days. Step 1, the eliminator. This eliminates excess mucus and parasite. What is this? It's a powder. Every morning you're going to use 1 teaspoon in 8 ounces of water, and it's going to eliminate all that excess mucus and parasite. Now, not right away, but it will work on getting rid of it. I just want to advise you all, no healing can take place until you clean out the sewer system so the other organs get a signal to release their waste. Just think about that for a moment. While I tell you about step 2, which is the purifier, it cleanses the colon and detoxifies the bodily organs. Now in this bag is a tea. You're going to be boiling 40 to 45 ounces of water. Drop this tea bag in, which is about the size of the palm of your hand. Let it set overnight after you've dropped the bag in the water that's boiled. Put a top on it. The next morning, pour it in a jar or a pitcher, whichever you prefer. Your first day, you're going to drink 4 ounces of this tea. And in the evening, another 4 ounces before 8 p.m. Now that's just on the first day. Remember that. The other 6 days or the other 20 days, you will be drinking only 4 ounces before 8 o'clock each evening. This is going to give you a gentle bowel movement the early part of the morning. So this will help cleanse, as I said, the colon and detoxify the bodily organs. Our step 3, it's the regenerator. It replenishes vitamins and minerals. You're going to add 2 teaspoons of this to your juice or your smoothie. This is a powder, and it has about 11 to 12 different herbs, minerals, and vitamins in it. After adding the regenerator to your smoothie, these are some additional groceries you will need that you will also be adding to your smoothie, because you're going to be juicing vegetables and fruits for a tea that we give you a recipe to. You're going to add the flaxseed or flaxseed oil to your juice, cayenne pepper, liquid chlorophyll, alkaline water, aloe vera juice, and you're going to fix yourself a raw salad with spinach, kale, mixed greens with vegan or non-dairy dressing, preferably balsamic vinaigrette. And of course, you're going to be able to have for your midday snack, or you can add it to your salad, fruits, nuts, and seeds. The nuts will consist of almonds, walnuts, and pecans. And let me just iterate here, no honey roasted. So get ready for your free grocery guide and your free group coaching. I want you to take a close look at this picture. I call them our raw warriors. These are people that have did the 21-day cleanse. You're looking at their before and after picture. These are not actors. These are real people that have joined Akana. They are believers. They are fighters. Now listen to our CSO, Miss Phyllis Nash, and she will tell you what the 21-day cleanse did for her.
I was able to lose 14 pounds, 6 inches. And I love the way I look. I'm not going to lie. I am loving this. But let me tell you what I love even more. I dropped my cholesterol 50 points. Blood pressure stabilized. And my doctor and I had been fighting for the last 5 years because she wanted to put me on a statin. And I absolutely refused. And she told me I would never change my cholesterol, lower it by diet alone. Well, you can know how excited I felt when I had dropped it 50 points. I want to be optimally healthy until the day I just close my eyes and I'm not here anymore. I hope you join us.
Now our step 4, which is optional, but you won't think it's optional once you hear what it is. We've discovered the most powerful superfruit on planet Earth, the Arona berry. This berry accelerates weight loss, tastes delicious, and it only takes 1.5 ounces twice a day. Reduces inflammation. How awesome is that? And the ORAC score, 41,000 plus. You can't beat that. And some of you are saying, what is an ORAC score? It helps us to understand how effective a berry or a food is at protecting our cells from damage, which is caused by harmful substance in our body. The higher the score, the better they are at keeping us healthy. And as you can see on the chart, the Arona berry is off the chart. Here it's showing 40,000 points, and it's also showing you the other berries that we thought were great, and they still are. The Arona berry is just greater. After the reset or refresh, you're going to choose from 3 options. Keep the lifestyle going. Option 1, flexibility. Option 2, plant-based. Option 3, age reversal. This flexibility of option 1 It allows cooked food and blood type eating, fish and animal protein. It encourages a reduction of bad carbs and an increase of more fruits and vegetables. This option will help you receive a list of foods for your blood type. Remove the animal meat that's causing the most harm, maintain a healthy body weight, and lose additional pounds. Improve muscle building. Products, Flat Belly Berry and Flat Belly Blaster. The option 2, plant-based. This is a meatless and dairy-free option that allows cooked vegan food. This option will help you receive a list of food for your blood type, drop additional weight, make continued health improvements, improve muscle building. And it's the same product, Flat Berry, and Flat Belly Blaster. Option 3, age reversal. We all want that. This option consists of many raw fruit, vegetables, and nuts. You will also enjoy delicious, low temperature cooked vegan meals. This option will help you receive a list of foods, the same thing I've told you about the other 2. So come on, you all. We have no excuses. Let's keep the lifestyle going after our clean. The Flat Belly Blaster that you heard me talking about, hemp protein, it is our number 4 product on the list also with the Arona berries. This blaster, the ingredients, hemp protein, coconut, palm sugar, ashwagandha root, beetroot. Ashwagandha. Thank you. Thank you so much. Beetroot, wheatgrass, and moringa leaf. Triple probiotic, power, alpha fiber, powder, and prebiotic powder, vegetable, vegan-based protein. This will taste great in your smoothie. Now back to Dr. Roz, our awesome mentor and teacher.
Thank you, Miss Anna. Appreciate that. Now that you know what we need to do, let's talk about how to get it done, right? So, and then we'll be ready to move forward because you got your bioscan. And I think you probably saw about 4 or maybe 6 areas of your bioscan, but guess what? There are 45 areas of that report. 45 areas. So listen, get back with the person that scanned you. They can help you get that full report because you probably do need to know what's going on with so many other areas like the gallbladder and your blood sugar. What about where you're deficient in your vitamins or what's causing allergies or for your skin? Skin is that biggest, area of your body, right? And for ladies, hey, come on now. We don't have to wait till October to know what's going on in the area of our breasts. We don't have to wait till we have breast cancer. We don't have to have prostate cancer, gentlemen, before we know we're going in the wrong direction. So you might want to get that full report. I really advise you to get the entire report. But even more importantly, I advise you to know what your blood type is. Do you know what your blood type is? Matter of fact, if you do know, put it in the chat right now what your blood type is. Are you A, B, or O? Now, if you put E and X and Y, you don't even know what letters we're talking about. Why is it important? Because one person's food is another man's poison. You could literally be eating something that's toxic. I was talking to somebody today, and they were telling me about how every time they eat chicken, how they feel in their body, and they're blood type B. Blood type B chicken is toxic to a person that has blood type B. White wine is toxic to an O. Bananas are toxic to A's because the antigen in your body is not sufficient to break down those particular foods. So you need to know the list, but you first need to know what is your blood type. We've got a full blood type test typing kit. Yeah. Very simple to do, very easy to do, costs a whole lot less than you going to the doctor getting it done. So get back with the person that invited you here. They can help you get that. The person who has a website that you can go to and you can actually order the blood type kit. And then you want to make sure you get your cleanse. Now, listen, I've been telling everybody, we want to start the year off. That's when our mindset is thinking about diet and all these kind of things. But we're not talking about dieting. We're talking about a lifestyle. And it starts with the 7-day or the 21-day. Now, if you had a lot of red in your scan report, let me tell you, you need to do this 21 days. You just stop, let your body reset. God made our bodies to heal itself. He didn't make our body for the toxins. He didn't make our body for the chemicals, but we've got to make some changes. Now, if you tell me, Dr. Roz, I hear you, but this is raw. This says raw cleanse. And that's exactly what it means. You heard what Miss Anna was talking about when she was saying the things we're going to have, raw, no cooked food during this time. So you may say to me, well, I don't think so. Well, then do 7 days. But you got to do something. I hope that you feel the urgency to do something. And then the aronia berry, you heard her talking about it. Listen, I was so excited when my box of aronia juice came in, and we're having now aronia powder that you can use in all kinds of stuff. Oh my goodness, aronia berry is #1. And we are privileged to have an exclusive farm that's doing ours, that as you saw those 2 different charts, one is higher than the other. And then there's some of you, listen, here's what happens, and we got testimonies right here on this line, I'm sure, that have done the cleanse and detox, and then the first thing somebody asks you is like, what are you doing? You're looking better. You're glowing. I see your weight loss. I see your face slimming down. People are going to ask you that. And when they do, wouldn't it be cool to not only say what you're doing, but send them to your website? Yeah, all of a sudden it creates an avenue where you can bring in an additional stream of income if you so desire. Just for another $50, instead of paying $350 for the 21-day, now you pay $3.99, and look what you get. You get the 21-day, and you get our famous pain cream that helps with neuropathy and pain and all kinds of pain. People we don't make the claims, but the people do make the claims. And the gummies that help you with sleep, and sample packs to give away. And you'll go through some learning, our certification, yes. And we'll teach you how to even do the blood type testing. All of that comes with this Pearl Lifestyle Pack. But then there's one more person I've got to address, because I'm getting phone calls all the time about saying, do you have a coach here? Do you have a coach there? Do you have a coach here? Guess what? You need to be a coach. We need coaches in every nook and cranny of the United States. We need coaches everywhere to help people. And if you're a person that loves to help people and you care enough about people, listen, we're inviting you to become a certified wellness coach. Yes, this is the Certified Wellness Coach Pack. It says $14.99, but I want to say it's $2,000. Why am I saying that? Because this does not include the scan equipment. So to me, it just doesn't make sense. Let's add it all together for an additional $500. Yep, you're adding the scan equipment so that you can do the same bioscan for others that was done for you, along with a ton of other products. Our Hempranium, which is our own proprietary formula, our Hemp MD, our sample pain cream pack to give away for pain. When somebody say they're hurting, you can just pull it out and give them a little bit of sample, right? The 7-day cleanse, 3 of them, the 21-day cleanse, look at that, all of that. And you're going to go through our certified wellness coach that's being taught by our own naturopath, Dr. Eric Prince. So all you got to do is get back with the person that invited you, whatever it is, whatever your reality is, whether you're going to start the cleanse. Hey, let's start. Let's get going. Some of us are getting it in before Christmas. Some of us are starting immediately after Christmas, because a detox is going to give your body a break and allow your body to do what God ordained it to do, self-cleanse and self-heal. And we want to kick that into gear. So welcome tonight. Thank you again for being here. Join us in this process, in this journey to elevate with Akana, and welcome to the family.